What's better than this music right here, man?
I have no idea. Nothing.
I love me some NFL theme songs. Sorry there, Joey.
Joey's good. Joey's good.
I love this stuff. I get so psyched. Oh man, I can't take it. The Super Bowl's still a week
Seriously.
away. Just get it going already.
Speed her up.
You know, I gotta watch the Pro Bowl today and throw up all over myself. I can't do that.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time talking about the NFL. We'll get more into it as I watch my little highlights here of Derek Thomas, may he rest in peace, sacking the heck out of John Elway. How's it better to go out on top, John Elway, winning 2 Super Bowls in a row, huh?
Yeah.
And then winning the MVP in the last one?
Absolutely. Definitely better than, say, my favorite of Mr. Favre, for sure.
Who do you think is the best quarterback of all time? Honestly.
The best?
All right, let's take away the Otto Grahams and the guys who played in the Jurassic period. All right? Let's not talk about them, Sammy Bauza and all these guys. Let's start from, like Terry Bradshaw
or something?
Yeah. Stallbacks, those guys. Excuse me, let's leave them out, all right? Because, let's face it, we're born, both of us, in, 1980, right?
I was born in, 1996.
1996.
I just eked into the 70s. Eked into the 70s.
All right. Well, we're both fairly young, 31, early 30s. So we come around when, Dan Marino and Elway were the key guys in the game.
Mm-hmm.
The best I ever saw and I'm a 49 fan, I've seen Montana, Young, Aikman, Marino, Elway, Peyton, Tom Brady, whoever I'm leaving out. John Elway was the best I ever saw. And I'll tell you why real quick. Guy had an unbelievable arm, incredibly accurate, never really had big offensive players, and he found himself in the Super Bowl all the time, in the AFC Championship game all the time. He can scramble. He reminds me, or I should say Ben Roethlisberger reminds me of a John Elway type of quarterback. John Elway had all the skills. So, in my opinion, I put him number 1 over anybody I've ever seen. What do you think?
Yeah. Elway was great. It's not to be disputed. For my money, I'm not ready to write the book on Brady yet, so I think I'm actually still going to lean to Montana.
Yeah, you lean to Montana. I like that. I'm not a fan. I'm happy.
His greatness is unquestioned. Was it 5-0 in Super Bowls?
Well, 4-0.
4-0 in Super Bowls.
Steve Young won 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, 4-0. That speaks for itself. You're right.
His great.
But then again, how about this? Terry Bradshaw is 4-0 in Super Bowls.
True.
All right.
True. But again, that's a little bit before our time.
Sure.
But I think the offense of San Francisco versus the Bruisum, black and blue type Steelers, it was definitely different.
Right.
And it's different today too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's Montana. I fortunately am the beneficiary of one great giant Montana moment when he gets drilled by Leonard Marshall.
How is that great?
Other than that, it's Montana.
I don't understand how people you can say it's great when somebody gets hurt and smashed to smithereens all over the field. It's not.
It was just a big moment in the game. I don't wish harm on the guy, but
How about this? You're a competitor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to play the best and beat the best at their full health with all their guys in there?
Definitely.
Or would you? Right.
Definitely.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying taking anything away from Steve Young in 1990 or anything like that, but knocking Joe Montana. I'm not saying that's the meaning of the game. It was a low-scoring game to begin with back in 1989. But the point I'm trying to make, I would rather play the best guys. I want them all healthy and say at the end of the game, we beat them at their best, and there's no excuse, and I want to leave it alone.
But I think that's the point, is that was a defensive game, and that kind of put the stamp on that game, was that play. But of course you want to play the best at full health. If you don't, what's the point of competing?
Right, of course.
There's something lacking,
right.
Absolutely.
So Joe Montana, John Elway, you can argue. I don't want to sound too biased. I like Steve Young because he could run, and he was incredibly accurate and everything. We're not going to get into too much of the crazy football talk. Quarterback talk, excuse me. Brett Favre is another one. Who he's also Favre Green Bay kind of guy. Not a Green Bay fan per se, but more of a Favre kind of guy. You followed him more.
Sure,
right?
Sure did.
I get that. Favre killed my Niners all the time.
Yeah, and he tarnished his career towards the end a little bit. A little bit, but I think the longevity speaks for itself.
It does. That thing with the Jets. Apparently he was hurt the second half of the season.
Right.
And they were doing well. They were winning 3.
Yeah, they were going to the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I give him credit that he didn't use the injury as an excuse. He never did. That actually didn't come out until well after that season.
And I respect that. I like that a lot. And, all the talk about, Favre, just coming into locker rooms and coming into a new... It worked out. The Jets loved him. Minnesota loved him.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate the last year in Minnesota the way it all worked out, but the year before that, the guy had like a career year.
He had his best, maybe his best season.
Yeah.
But they kind of enabled that whole situation. I mean, he shouldn't have been the whole training camp situation.
I know. And he really brought all that attention to himself.
He did.
That was really sick. You know, just the last year coming in with like 2 days before the season starts.
But I feel like they allowed it. Like at some point, they could have stopped driving to Mississippi or flying to Mississippi to wait on this front lawn. They made the choice to do that.
That's a very fair point.
You know?
They went after him also. It wasn't like, you know, hey, come. He was kind of saying, hey, come get me, but they went to go get him.
Right.
You know, they went. They didn't have to go.
Right.
You know, they didn't have to camp out on his lawn. You know, they made it all. Yeah, I just think with all the publicity that these guys get, it's so crazy with the media how they stalk you on your lawn and things like that. It is nuts.
Yeah,
you know?
it's absolutely blown out of proportion.
Gosh, yeah, chill out.
Yeah,
I like Cam.
I mean, they're athletes. They're pro athletes, but they're not. You know, it's not celebrity. Even the celebrity, all of it.
Cam Newton embraces that celebrity, but in a good way, I think. I like what he's doing. You know, he talked a lot, saying he wanted to be an icon, you know, before he came in and everything like that. And people took that the wrong way, but I'm saying, you know, the kid's got confidence. I love that. You know, go out and be a superstar. Do your thing. And he really backed it up last year. I mean, look, people kind of overhyped his season a little bit because the 2 400-yard passing games back-to-back and, you know, the rushing. The kid was phenomenal. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he does have a lot to learn. He threw a lot of picks, and his yardage certainly went down toward the end of the year.
Right.
And he's going to win Rookie of the Year, is my point.
Definitely.
He's going to win that award, and he deserves to win it. But it's hard to overlook what Andy Dalton did and bringing that team to the playoffs when everybody was like, yeah, they'll be 2-14, 3-13. That's incredible stuff.
Absolutely. And I was concerned with Cam and the whole icon talk because it's almost Rex Ryan-esque. But that being said, he definitely made a believer out of me. And like you said, though, it does come down to winning. Andy Dalton's team was good all year. They were good all year long. They had a pretty good defense, but he stepped in and he was good. And Cam was good also, but the team wasn't winning.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And that you were exactly right. That's the ultimate point. Is it's about wins and losses at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You can play great and put up all the numbers in the world, but if your team isn't in the playoffs and you have a chance to win, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
You know, so, you know, and it does take a little bit of luck sometimes getting into the right situation.
That's true.
You know, luck is key. I mean, luck is when preparation and organization, you know,
meet opportunity.
Yeah. Correct, exactly. Yeah. I had a little bit of luck almost go the wrong way my other day. But it's kind of a scenario I want to bring up. It was only a $2 lotto ticket.
Okay.
But it was $2, which could turn into like, I don't know, maybe 50 or 1,000 with something else. I had my cup of coffee sitting down, right? And I spilled it all over the freaking table, and it just wiped out my lotto ticket completely, right? So my $2 is gone.
Right.
But it got me to thinking, what if you won like the real deal, like the big freaking lotto, like the jackpot, or even something like a couple of grand, and you're all excited and you're jumping around and you go like this and your coffee spills all over your ticket and it's out. There's no like backup data for anything like that. Is it
still readable?
No, it's
out.
Let's just say you're
done. You can't hang it on the clothesline and hopefully it dries.
Right. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, man.
Could you imagine that? That has had to have happened sometime before.
That would be tough.
That would be tough. I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. It was only $2, but you know what? I was thinking about people who get real excited and you know they win thousands or whatever. I don't think they have backup for that. Is my point.
I don't think so either.
Weird, interesting thing.
I mean, unless they the first, you know, you see your ticket and then you run to Kinko's. Other than that, the ticket's gone.
Look, I really had it. This is confidence.
Other than that, the ticket's gone.
I spilled my coffee.
Right.
Yeah, great story.
Right.
Come back another. Anybody could do that with it. You've been to Kinko's lately? Whatever. You gonna watch the Pro Bowl later?
No.
You know?
I'm not. I'm definitely not.
I love football, but I'm not watching that damn thing. But there's basketball on, actually. The Bulls are playing the Heat right now. I wonder what the score is. I want to get that. Who do you think? Who'd you predict to go to the finals this year? What'd you say? They're playing actually in 5 minutes. I'm
not sure I made an official prediction, but I mean, I'm sure the Heat would have been part of that.
All right.
As much as I don't want to see that, but I think Oklahoma State's got to be
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City, excuse me. Thank you. They're incredible.
It's when?
Harden and Durant and Westbrook.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're awesome.
Durant's phenomenal.
Durant's sick, right?
Portland screwed up with Odin and not taking Durant. And I mean, Durant may be the best offensive guy in the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, he just might be. You know, you talk about him and Melo and LeBron, obviously, but I had Oklahoma City playing the Heat. I mean, So did a lot of people. All right, it's not like that's like, oh wow, look at Jay with his predictions over here. But the Heat to me were the best team in the league last year, and for some reason they just LeBron was a big part of the reason that they lost it in the finals last year.
He disappeared.
He disappeared. He shut down. He was afraid, whatever you want to call it. And Dallas took advantage of it, and it was one of the better kind of turnarounds I've ever seen. This year, I don't think that he or anybody on that team is going to allow anything to get in their way. I think that they have the best talent. I think they're extremely determined, and I don't see any team stopping them from winning the finals this year. I don't.
I mean, it'd be hard to find one. The Mavericks aren't going to do it again.
No.
So, I mean, that's not even an option. And if not them, then who? The Lakers aren't as good.
No. It's pretty fair to say they're coming out of the East,
Oklahoma
right?
City doesn't play as much defense as need be to win, I don't think. I'm sure it holds up well in the regular season. But
what about a healthy Laker team? If they can be healthy, and they actually have
can Bynum be healthy?
That's obviously a giant question mark.
Can he be healthy? I don't know.
I don't know. That's one of the big things. If he's healthy, they're a different team.
Or are they playing for the finals with Dwight Howard?
Could you imagine? My point, I was saying something about Dwight Howard the other day. Wherever he goes next, he'll have a superstar on his team guaranteed. Another.
Sure.
He's going to win every NBA Finals until he retires. There are no big men to contend with him.
Right.
Take Shaq with Wade and with Kobe. Basically, those teams were unstoppable because you have the best big man in the league, and you have one of the best, shooting guards or small forwards or whatever you want to call them.
He could have won with Phoenix too if he was a couple of years younger.
Yeah.
If he went there a few years sooner with Nash, he could have won.
So the point is that a big man and the best dominant big man in the game and one of the greatest shooting guards or small forwards, you combine that together, those are championships.
Yeah.
So,
or a great point guard like Deron Williams, something like
exactly that. Right. And I thought he was going to be the new Brooklyn Nets guy. You don't think he's going? I still think he's going to end up there. I don't know where else he's going to go.
Maybe he gets to the Knicks.
Oh, how?
Trade Chandler and Amari.
I would do it in a heartbeat. I would do it in a second.
I would do it. I would absolutely do
right
it.
away. Him and Melo together,
and then bring in Deron.
Well,
next year.
Far. Let the gold fall from the sky, please. I'll get you
the Melo thing ain't working out,
The Melo thing isn't working out because it's a kill. We're both Knick fans, guys. The Melo thing isn't working out because he's an isolation player. Amari is also an isolation player unless he has a good point guard. So that's the thing. Do the Knicks need a big man, or do they need a point guard to distribute the ball to those two guys and let them run free?
Right. I think they need a point guard now. I think they can win with Chandler. I actually like Chandler.
Me too. I like Chandler. He's there for defense and for rebounding.
But I don't know if they financially can handle the point guard they need right now. I don't know. I mean, that's why Billups ain't there in the first place.
You think Nash would end up coming over, possibly in some sort of minor trade?
I would love it, but I don't know if that helps their defensive issues.
Yeah, well, they're not going to play any defense with D'Antoni running the system over there.
No, well, they're trying to, but they're not going to do it with D'Antoni because that's just not part of his DNA.
Yeah, it's not. That's the problem. I mean, I've been begging and praying for Phil Jackson now for the past couple of months.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with D'Antoni per se, but he's not the right fit for this team, and he's especially not the right fit, in my opinion, for the big-time guys. A Melo and Amari don't have any problems. Thank God. They're friends.
Yeah, they have enough problems.
Yeah, they got enough problems on the court. So, as far as we know, they're getting along. And we need to continue that, but things are going to fall apart if they don't start producing on the court. They're 7-13 right now.
7-13.
What a bad record to have two. I was the first one saying last year, all you need is 2 stars on a team.
Yeah.
I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah. I mean, not of the similar positions that these two play, and Carmelo trying to play this point forward situation isn't going to work. He's not LeBron. He's a different player altogether. That works with LeBron. It's not going to work with him.
Yeah, I'm with you. LeBron can be a point forward type of guy. He could be like a Magic Johnson guy. Right. That's not Carmelo Anthony's style. If he takes the ball up, he's probably not going to pass it. He's just going to go.
He's a great passer, but that only works so much during the game, and you need his scoring. Yeah, you need his scoring. He can fill it up just as good as anyone other than Durant.
No question. He fills it up as good as anybody, but nobody else is putting anything up there. Again, we got Chandler to play defense and to get rebounds. He's not there to score. We don't expect him to.
Right.
But Amari's been gone. He just defers to Melo in the fourth quarter, which I get. But you also have to be in the game. You have to be a decoy, if anything, if you're not getting the ball. Take guys away from the rim.
Yeah.
and it's not working at all. There is no continuity on offense. There's no flow and fluidity like
there's not, and
that's
the craziest part about it is of all the things they shouldn't be having a problem with, it shouldn't be the offense. They've actually played decent defense this year, like better than expected or better than they have. Mm-hmm. The offense is an atrocity. It's actually very difficult to watch them.
That's the thing. It's almost like watching like the Jet offense of like the past couple, not really the past couple years.
That's a great analogy.
It's so hard to watch. It's like, wow, you guys are so good. How could you not put the ball in the hoop? I don't get it.
They're so good to be this bad. It's mind-boggling.
It freaks me out.
Yeah. It's frustrating too. I mean, every time I invest 2 hours to watch a Knick game, I feel like I'm literally I'm throwing hours out of my life.
Mm-hmm. And we've waited so long as Knick fans to finally get 2 stars like this back in here. And we thought that everything was going to be beautiful and we're all good to go, but apparently not. So right now the Knicks got a big time issue, and it's going to take some sort of change, whether it's getting a good point guard. If Baron Davis comes back healthy, can he be that guy?
Can he be that guy?
I don't know. I don't know.
If he's healthy, which is a huge if, maybe. I mean, Baron Davis is good. And at one point he was damn near great.
Yeah. Baron Davis was one of the hottest players in the league for like a good couple of years.
But can he hold up? And can you hinge on that for the rest of the year? He comes back, he plays good for a week, and then he's hurt again. That's not going to help either. What do you do? Do you make the trade now to get Howard? Do you see what Baron Davis